If you one of those super Christians with the super cape who could never understand somebody else, but you feel like you God, this is not for you. But for everybody else, listen. Sam Smith has a song called Pray. It's explicit. The only cuss word he says in there is the S word, but it's still explicit, right? It's called Pray. And before I gave my life to Christ, I was a Sam Smith fan. I was never a diehard Sam Smith fan, but he has a lot of songs that I love the runs in those songs. I'm a theater major, so I love to sing them, and I love like just the inflection of his voice, and also like Too Good at Goodbyes. That's my song because I resonate with that song so much. But anyways, his more recent things, I stopped listening to him, especially because I had saw a glimpse of an award show where he was like naked, not naked, but basically he was showing his stuff. He was showing his body, and he was wearing all pink, and he was basically trying to promote the gender fluidity thing that the world is promoting right now. But anyway, so I haven't been listening to his music just because it doesn't resonate with me anymore. And then another piece of that puzzle is when you have spiritual discernment and it's turned up as high as mine is, you listen to certain things, you feel the spirits in the songs, and you turn the songs off. So I'm not a Sam Smith fan anymore. But one of his songs just came across my Apple Music, and instead of turning it off, I listened to it. It's called Pray. And he starts out talking about how he gave up religion. Basically, he just gets high, but that stuff ain't working for him anymore. It's not doing anything for him anymore. And he explained how, like all these worldly things that he's so attached to aren't working for him anymore. He's like, you're not going to catch me in church. You're not going to catch me reading the Bible, but I'm going to pray. I'm going to just keep this one little glimmer of hope and pray. And although he probably felt like he was not being religious at all with that, baby, Sam Smith, everybody starts somewhere, and I started there. That little piece of hope, that little mustard seed of faith, and a mustard seed is small like a piece of dust. Just the smallest little piece of faith is all that you need for God to show up in major ways. So I immediately started praying. I immediately got into the spirit and started praying for Sam Smith and for everybody that his music touches, for all the souls that are attached to his music, for his millions of followers. I prayed for all of them, especially him, because when you are a leader, you need to be prayed for. Sam Smith is not a preacher. He's not a bishop. He's none of that. He never claimed to be. But he has more people following him than a lot of churches have. He has more people following him than a lot of pastors do. So it is extremely important that the souls of the people that he's touching are covered. So I prayed over that song, and I prayed over him, because although that song was not religious, that song was religious. He was talking about how he stopped believing in God. He didn't say he never believed in God, and he didn't even say God, but I know he was talking about God. He said, I stopped believing, like basically I stopped going to church. You're not going to catch me reading the Bible, none of that. But everything I'm doing in this world ain't working for me no more. So I'm just praying that you could show up for me in a mighty way. And baby, if that ain't what gospel music is talking about, Sam Smith said it in his own way. Sam Smith said it in his own brokenness. Sam Smith is living with a lot of different demons that come out on his music. He's living with a lot of different things that are very heavy on his heart. But he's still gonna pray. I used to do that. I never stopped believing in God, never did that. But I stopped going to church. I did not go to church for a majority of my life. I felt like, what's the point of going to church when all it is just pastors trying to get their point across so that you could put some money in the plate? That's what I looked at church as. That's not what church is for at all. That's what some people turn church into, but that's not what church is for at all. And I let broken people break me and make me choose to not follow God to the extent that I knew I should have been following him. And Sam Smith is basically saying, I'm not following you. I'm not about to claim to be a follower, but I still got a little glimmer of hope, so I'm about to pray. That's all God needs. Just open up the door for him, and he gonna come in. So Sam Smith left that door open for God to show up in a mighty way for him, and I love that. And as everybody who follows me knows, I love people. I love everybody. I don't care if you gay, straight, whatever you are. I don't care if you identify as a gender that you weren't born as. I don't care. I love everybody. I love everybody. But in loving everybody, I'm also honest to everybody. And I just love the fact that Sam Smith literally, openly, on his musical platform said, I don't follow you. I don't go to church. I don't read the Bible, but I still got this little glimmer of hope, and I'm going to pray. Do you know how many sinners he can pull out of the darkness just by saying that? Yeah, he got a cuss word in his song. Okay, so what? He said he's going to pray. Prayer fixes everything. Prayer makes the gates of heaven open up. Prayer makes miracles happen. Prayer makes Holy Spirit reign. Prayer is all that we can do on this earth. And a sinner like Sam Smith said he's going to pray. That's all God needed to hear from him. That's all God needed to hear from him.